Hey everyone, welcome back to another video on the channel. And in today's video, I want to talk to you about the new event Wizard 101 that recently released. Now, I was just yapping for 20 minutes while making this video, and then I realized I wasn't recording, so I might sound a little bit out of breath. I apologize. But yes, I had this video originally made about a week ago, and then I actually deleted the entire thing and like all the clips, so like I just lost the whole video. So that's why it's late. I apologize, y'all. But on the bright side, some recent updates have happened to the event and whatnot, and we got some news, so we'll talk about that in this video today. Now, you probably noticed the gameplay isn't Wiz, and that is simply just because I'm obviously on a break from Wiz right now until they update the game and whatnot, and I don't really think it would be fun for y'all to watch me like stand and socialize with people in the game. Like, that's really all I do, and I maybe do my garden, and that's about it. But without further ado, let's talk about this event. I have three main points here of the video and whatnot, and before I even get into them and like the feedback and whatever, I want to start with the positives here. I think in general, having an event like this in Wiz is good, because we need more things to do, we need more events in the game, we need more incentives to play as well, right? So that is a good idea. So I think the concept of the event is good. You know, you help people in the spiral while passively getting rewards. Very nice, right? And the other positive is the wand from the gear you actually get is okay. I know this is kind of wild to say, but like, it's not great, but it's not bad, and that's because it's unique with a triangle socket, you know. But I thought I'd put that in the positive point here, because, you know, as there tends to be more negative things than positive within updates, I just thought I'd put that in here. So the first main thing with the event that players are not happy about is going to be the incentives. And I talked to multiple people in the community, because as I tend to now, my videos aren't just about me anymore. Sometimes they are, but generally not. I usually talked about like 3 or 4 people on a topic before I make it into a video. But yes, the incentives this update are, I mean, it's no secret they're really not good. We'll go from everything from like the hat to the mount here. The hat, robe, and the boots are simply just reused templates from, I think it's like the Void set or the Stalker set. So it's not really good. We've already seen it like 2 or 3 times before at 170 here. And even if that piece of gear is good, like the template, like let's take Stalker for example, pretty popular from Wallaroo, right? It's simply just a worse version than what you already had, right? So not worth the time. I would say the literal only good thing here, this event and update, is the Fire Wizards might want to get the robe, because you get that extra 1 accuracy you're missing for fizzling your shads and like advanced content with the meta set. But aside from that, every other piece of gear for every other school, it's not worth your time. It's just bad. Now, I did say the wands were okay, and I put it in the positive section. So I think the wands are cool because the triangle socket obviously is a very big deal in terms of stats, right? You know, item cards, pips, accuracy, pretty big deal. You could socket a bubble too if you want, right? So pretty big deal. But these wands are just kind of similar to the pack wand or the Aquila wand in terms of stats. As for the Athame, Amulet, and Ring, they are just all absolutely terrible. Avoid these at all costs, y'all. And for the deck, I mean, it's a deck, right? It's not really that big of a deal or has that much impact on the game and whatnot. I will say you do get some cool item cards. I think it's like for the fusion or something in like Selenopolis, I believe. So like a Storm would get like a Haket or something, I think. So I mean, like, it's okay, but like you definitely don't need it, right? Like, it's like one of those things you could go for if you like the item cards and whatnot. And that's pretty much all of the gear. The only things we have left after that is like the pets, the mounts, the TC, and the reagents, I think. So let's briefly talk about the pet right now. So there's a pet. I mean, it's something, I guess. It's not good though. And I think at least until they do like a pet audit or they release like pet stitching into the game, I think it's just kind of going to be a case, right? Like they keep releasing hundreds of these pets in the crown shop, or as an incentive here in the update, right? And yes, they're like different looking and whatever, and they might have different item cards, but they're not gonna amount to like what we have with the Frillosaurs and the set bonus, right? Obviously, some people like going for these, you know, pets in the crown shop or on the event because it might be exclusive, or, you know, they think it's cute or something if you're into that, right? But most of the time, people aren't gonna care if it's not going to affect their stats or be helpful. Like me personally, there's a lot of pets in the game that I love to like look at, like the aesthetic, and like want to run with a Stitch, but it's just not, it's objectively not as good as like the Frill or what I already have. So at least until that day comes with pet stitching or like a pet audit, I just pretty much see all of these pet updates to be a nothing burger, unfortunately. As for the mount, this is like the highlight of the event, I would say. Unfortunately, it's pretty much just the jeweled scarab or whatever it's called in the crown shop with a couple of different textures here and there. Not really much of a difference. I can hardly tell a difference from the crown shop version and the event version. It's very minuscule. After that, we have the TCs and the reagents. I mean, the reagents aren't really anything, I would say. I think it's like tournament tokens, which are cool, I guess, if you want to do tournaments, but no one wants to do tournaments right now. They're kind of in a bad state, right? And as for the TC, they're just, you know, like ice blades. It's 7 pip AoE TC, like nothing special. You just buy this at the bazaar and not have to worry about doing a whole event for them. I will say the one unique thing you're gonna want from this event though is like the Shatter TC, because those are pretty popular in advanced combat, and Bazaar doesn't always have them, well, because they're popular, right? So if you do this event, you can actually stack up on a lot of those Shatter TC, so that is one good thing. I probably also should have added that to the positive section. And yeah, that's pretty much it for incentives, y'all. So I do want to go through what I would personally do to make this event better, and, you know, maybe the devs can take some of that feedback and whatnot. So starting off with the mounts, I guess I would like to see a brand new mount, unique and maybe exclusive to this event. As controversial as stat mounts might be in the game, you could also like just put that in the game, like maybe a Clockwork Courser kind of mount you get from doing this event, right? Because you would technically make it not be pay to win anymore in the game, and you would be giving players a free to play healthy way to get that. I personally think them just reusing what they had in the crown shop here is pretty lazy in my opinion, and it's just not desirable. As for the gear itself, I mean, ultimately what it comes down to is a gear template, which is like a system on how they build the gear, in case you're wondering. I mean, the Athames, Amulets, and Rings are just like, they're a lost cause. No feedback is going to help them fix that, okay? The wand, I would say, triangle, I mean, nice. I just wish the stats weren't, you know, I wish they were a little better. They're not exceptional right now, I would say, is a good way to put it. And then as for the hat, robe, and shoes, this should be like the good stuff, the meat and potatoes of it, right? I think at the very least, what you could have done is give us, again, exclusive looking gear, similar to the amount I said a second ago, but they just reused textures from Zigzag. It's literally the exact same gear from Zigzag, so not a fan of that personally. Like, why would I do a whole event for that gear when I can just go do Zigzag and get it? You know, doesn't make sense. As for the stats of the gear, because that's the cosmetics, I personally would like to see them make the stats better than what we have. So I'm gonna explain myself here because this might ruffle some feathers. But basically what I'm saying, right, we've had the meta gear for, I think, 2 years. Yeah, almost 2 years now since Wallaroo, right, 170. So instead of them just remaking the same template over and over and over, like I said, we have the same template for Stalker, Selenopolis, the Void stuff, and now this event as well. So that's 4 of the same template. I think instead of just like, you know, buffing and nerfing stats here and there, I would instead make the stats just a little bit better. So for example, right, let's take a popular piece of gear, you know, Reaver, Wastelander, and PvP, right? Instead of just giving it an extra pierce or something, you could just give it like a little bit more health, right? So don't make it so much of an upgrade to the point where it's like, okay, well, I need to have this now, right? But make it like a tad bit of an upgrade, right? And this is mostly just feedback for their off year when they take a whole year off of doing PvE content, the devs, right? Just make the stats a little bit better over time. Even though it's the same level, just give it a marginal increase. Because then you would technically give the competitive players something to do, but it's not going to be that big of a deal. Like, for example, right, my Wastelander hat in PvP, if I did this event, maybe I get like 20 or 30 more health, and every other stat stays the same. So that's my feedback on the incentives here. Now, the next two things I want to talk about is Kingsisle not promoting the events and the community failing to hit the milestones. So I talked to Richard about this because I haven't really been doing the event because, again, there's no reason to. Why would I participate in it? I did about a run or two just to, you know, test it out and test the waters and whatnot, but not really my cup of tea if there's nothing to go for. Obviously, when this event launched, it was pretty buggy, right? It's like, I think there's something with the level scaling that some players weren't able to interact with teaming up in the worlds and whatnot. But again, I think the community is not interested in this event because, well, why would they, right? Take myself, for example. I do a lot of PvP. I'm not going to do PvE unless they can actually, like, hook me in and give me a reason to do something. I think the event is cool, but I'm never going to do it if there's nothing to do it for. And you can see with the graph or whatever that they have in the game, the community is not keeping up with the expectation that KI had for the game. And that's simply because, again, it was bugged for a little bit. Number two, there's no reason to do it, right? Take a player like me, for example, or a lot of y'all out there. And three, Kingsisle actually didn't really promote this event that well. I think right now, as I'm recording this video, the community is about 1 week behind the rate that Kingsisle set for us. Because I think we're on week 3 right now, and the community recently just hit the second milestone or whatever. And each milestone indicates like a week, right? So the community is about like half a week behind, I would say, to be generous at the moment. So we'll have to wait and see what happens and whatnot. If they can't actually save this event, I hope they can at least take this feedback and do something better in the future, or apply this logic to the next event in the game, so we don't have the community, you know, falling behind. But as always, let me know your thoughts and feedback in the comments below, y'all. What do you think about this event? Do you like it? What do you disagree with? You know, again, open to the constructive criticism here on the channel. Just be respectful, you know, don't be like, oh, Liam, you're stupid for wanting this mount. Screw you, unsubscribe, you know. Actually be peaceful, respectful, and yeah, I'll see you guys later. Thank you for watching, take care, and goodbye.